into this game number 2 now, and White Album needs to pop off, apparently. That's what was said by Kezu, and Cost was saying that this bottom lane, potentially, of the Enigma Tiny could be horrifically bad for Red Panda.
Yeah, so overall, I think Aster.Aries have leaned into fixing some problems from game 1 to game 2. Like, would put them in a position where after laning phase, if they have that good lead, they should be able to sweep across the map, make all these cool plays off of the back of Alk having a good start. And that's where I think Lacoste's concerns in the safe lane will kind of be present. Disruptor, not the best hero against Enigma. On the flip side, like Alk is traditionally very good against summon heroes. When you max your acid spray, push it out and you farm. So it really is, does Aster find windows to prevent Alk's levels? Because if they don't, then Alk will just farm. So yeah, I'm really looking at the safe lane to see if Aster.Aries can enter this game with confidence.
Okay. See if they can make it happen, get off to that early start. Of course, it would be lovely to see, you know, Alchemist just farm up a storm with acid spray and, you know, get those constant Greeble Greed stacks going. But will that actually come to pass? Only time will tell, as they do manage to take away one of those Observer Wards. Not bad at all. So Siamese Cat, able to make that move, is now going to be heading back up top. We didn't talk that much about the top side. Phoenix paired together with the Pango facing off against an NP Undying. That's another lane that, like, the bullying feels like it might be pretty strong.
Yeah, Aster will be very happy with this top lane. I think this is why you often see Undying or Nature's Prophet banned out in the first phase, because when they're in conjunction, first of all, Undying is already very hard to deal with in lane, and then you throw the Treants as well. It is just going to be... I mean, Monet should just be complete free farm here. I'd be surprised. And oh, yeah, already, Panglia, 100 HP.
Yeah, God, that's really frustrating to play against. And obviously, continue to throw out those decays whenever they want to. XWY getting somewhat low here in the mid lane. Did start off with a nice deny after a miss uphill from White Album. So we'll see how they end up doing. Of course, both these heroes trying to rush into the bottle will be a bit of a farm fest.
Yeah, and this mid matchup, it is an old school Death Prophet favored matchup, because you can go for the point in silence. You have Exorcism to pressure the tower. When Puck naturally wants to make moves, you just do that. And if Puck tries to kill you, you have Siphon, so you shouldn't really die. You should be able to push out the Puck, and you don't allow her to rotate. So again, on paper, White Album should be very happy with this matchup. Unless there's like tiny support running mid, plus an Undying, triple tri-lane, toss back on calls and shenanigans. But in a pure 1v1, Death Prophet's pretty happy.
Miss uphill there. Red Panda not quite able to get the courier kill, but it is a little bit of a weird one, as we're seeing XWY get dropped down lower and lower. And as you said, yeah, definitely a favored matchup right now for White Album. Good dodge there of the Crypt Swarm. 12-3 already versus that 5-1. That one hurts a lot.
Yeah, and if you look towards bot lane, because Tiny obviously pulled the wave, you're now having just out casually going in a 1v1 against Enigma. Sure, there'll be a little bit of XP starve, but yeah, as soon as out hits, I'd probably say, you know, level 3, 2 points in spray. That's when this lane gets a little bit more comfortable for him. And I'm going to look towards Red Panda. Rather than chasing Babuka around doing some stuff, maybe you stack the small cap a couple times. Position close enough that it's not a 2v1, but maybe give out just more resources as if possible.
Well, and up top, we talked about it already, the pain that could be felt here. Monet, 15 and 9 denies against just the 6 last hits of Pango. You can see that TK is trying to zone back the Undying and actually doing a decent job of it, but Monet very much in complete control of this lane here, as it does look like Shenxi is going to have a couple of last hits here and there, but really a tough one for him.
Yeah, for Shenxi, it's basically just survive, get levels, and then eventually there'll be that time where you can make that rotation. And
down bottom, maybe a chance for a kill into Bobica of all heroes. So Ulu able to find that as they tried to toss back on Red Panda. So I guess that is one issue, right? You know, you go for the all-in play, but physical damage against the no armor Tiny is an issue.
Yeah, I love the fact that actually Ulu went for the stun. I was thinking more of like a farm game, but when Tiny steps up to that position, then sure, level that concoction, and go for the kill.
Ooh. Oh, tried to go for the all-in. Does get the bottle refill at the very least. So that's a little bit of help for the Puck there in the mid.
Yeah, but so far, you know, laning phase-wise, I think Aster.Aries should be pretty happy with at least 2 of the 3 lanes. Of course, Monet will be the X factor for Aster.
Oh, TK needs to use that dive to get out of harm's way. It was looking a little bit spicy And a little surprised that we haven't seen them try and pull waves themselves. I guess that it's pretty easy to disrupt with the NP treants a little bit. Toss into the creep camp there. Get some extra damage onto Red Panda as they're battling over for that sort of water rune location. Ulu going to get hit by the stun. Does some damage to the Eidolons, but can't in the end finish them off.
Yeah, I'm thinking about like Aster.Aries top lane and why they didn't pull themselves. It's like you could maybe argue the Treants and Undying would be too annoying for Phoenix. They'd trade too many resources. Also, the lane's always kind of been in an equal state. So for Pangolier, he knows Nature's Prophet will always farm. So if he just plays the lane and they're pushing it into him, he's going to get his XP anyway. So I guess it's honestly fine. Like
Bobica. He will go for the toss play, but the stun is going to connect. 2 points in Acid Spray also. So Ulu feeling like this is the way he needs to play it out.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, already look at the Eidolons. Like without Acid Spray, Disruptor's using maybe 5-6 hits, but with that alone, it's like easily halving that makes it feel very nice. Yeah, they killed off 2 of the 3 Eidolons straight off the battle for 1 spray.
That's really good. And now queuing up another stun. The Glimpse pulls him back in. Bobica don't have Acid Spray to lay down because no mana, but it is going to be a toss back onto XXS. If they had full Eidolons, he'd be dead. And they're going to glyph the wave to make sure that Red Panda can have a chance at survival. In the end, it won't happen, though. He does get brought down.
I love the attempt. I love the fact that like, in the moment, they're always thinking, like, what's the best way to try and survive?
Oh, good dodge of the silence there. Or rather, just the extra damage coming in from White Album. Does be forced to use a bottle charge. And now TK trying to push back Siamese Cat if he can. But it's going to be a bottle refill. Red Panda comes on mid.
Yeah, super important from both teams that they brought the support. So this is the point where this mid lane can break. If Puck... another glimpse.
Finds him, and it's going to be up top. They toss him right onto it. White Album starting to drop, but the Spirit Siphon, that's enough to keep him alive. Now the turn... They're going to pop Exo, still have some pretty decent damage for the turnaround. They're going to just try and run down this Undying. So first Exo going to be used in not the best fashion. And in fact, the neutral creep comes in for the deny. And XWY is going to get the Arcane Rune. So big win there for sure for the side of Aster.
Insanely big win. Again, this is the point in the game where like if Tiny rotates and no one helps DP, they can maybe pressure her. But the fact that DP uses Exo, doesn't kill off the Undying, you're not taking the tower, there's now a window where Puck's like, wait, I've got 2 minutes that if I get a good rune, I can go make a rotation. Yeah. If I see an opportunity, I'll TP. Like, yeah, I think Aster.Aries, they need to be careful. They don't waste like the next Exo. Because if you're spending the first 4 minutes of your level 6 on DP not progressing the map, or at least not threatening, that's when it kind of, not falls off, but it hurts you a lot on Death Prophet.
Dude, there have been so many of these bottle refills too. Some stacks being built in the jungle. Need to make sure that they take care of those. Obviously, Alchemist would love to be able to come and clean those up. He currently stacked up the small camp on his side of the map. We'll find the Fairy's Trinket, which could be a nice little pass over there to the Death Prophet. But Ulu, at least right now, with this Acid Spray maxing build, seems like he's been able to weather the worst of the storm of the XXS lane. And in fact, Red Panda right there with them. They pop the NP ulti though, and now the dive in towards DP finds her mid. And that is the big timing. Bringing everybody. Whoa, the glimpse to break it. Ulu's still in some trouble, barely surviving.
And a little bit of miss macros there as well. A couple Eidolons going for the melee creeps rather than hitting the Alchemist. But just this mid play alone from Aster, it's the... You see one little misstep from Death Prophet, no support, get killed, TP, take tower. Like, look how quickly they did that. And that's because the Exorcism prior was for the Undying, right? Like,
yeah. Well, they're going to try and find XXS over here and get a little bit of a return kill. So that was much needed. And Exo back up now in about 15 seconds. Like you said, this is a key moment. They need to get something back online for White Album.
At this point, Aster, they can decide whenever Nature's Prophet is ready to make the next move. If they take the safe lane tower, this is a really difficult position to be in for an Alchemist, where you don't have any jungle protection, and you're basically getting forced up into your top triangle,
right,
in like before you dictate that pace. So, yeah, Aster.Aries, in the back of their mind, they need to pretty much just make sure that Pangolier and Death Prophet sync up to make a decisive play so that they can start shifting the play and give Alk that freedom to do as he wishes. Because net worth, nature's profit, this hero obviously can't farm as fast, right? But you can easily keep up to like a relative degree.
Exo used again, and if this goes down, White Album, but the heal coming from TK. Okay, this could work out pretty good for them. Red Panda's in the area. They turn now, going to take down the Tombstone. The Glimpse pulls him back in and going to find themselves a nice little kill. It's not an objective with the Exo, but at the very least, it's a fight turnaround. And Bobica now in some trouble. Ulu right on top of him. The ulti's popped, looks for a couple hits, gets the kill.
Yeah, you defend your safe lane tower, and that's all I care about right now. I think if you're Aster.Aries, keeping this tower alive is like so critical that I mentioned. Like the fact that Ulu's able to hit this jungle camp is because they kept it alive, and yeah, they're gonna. This is the farm state now. We haven't really seen much from Shang-Chi. Like he's gone for a Vanguard build. Most likely down the line he'll be disassembling that for Lotus, but for now he's quite tanky. I'd love to see this Pangolier maybe sync up and join a bit of the fight, but. Yeah, right. Nice stabilizing in the game, at least from Aster.Aries. Easily, this could have been a snowball effect with the last couple of minutes.
Right, and it is still less than 1,000 gold lead for Aster, but that's with the Alchemist in hand. And now Aster trying to make a move to shut down these areas of the map that Alk would want to farm. As Bobica going to lay down a ward, they're going to back behind the tower here. You can see Dota Plus win probability 50-50 at this point, 10 minutes in. And as we've talked about also, gonna still have those level 6s come online for the support soon. As Alk farming this out, this is a great camp for him to get, but can they find any way to punish and steal away some of these? Ulu, his ulti, it's wearing down lower and lower, and it looks like he's gonna give up those 2 last big creeps, just not wanting to even test the potential danger coming from XWI. I like that call.
The discipline of the Alk player. Like, if that was a pub Alk player, he's like, I'm going for those creeps, but he's already got team comms telling him, don't worry, boss. You lose those 2 creeps, you got a nice little ancient stack to go to anyways. And yeah, like we already mentioned, Aster, they need to progress this map. They take bot tower, they have Enigma, they have Nature's Prophet. These heroes will rinse your towers if you don't defend them correctly.
Right.
And the fast areas, like their defense, they have beautiful defense, but for now, they understand that their draft, if they don't get to that 20-minute timing and just crush the game, they will always be just under the threat of Aster. So I like the fact that they are being very respectful towards their own heroes and not like overextending their heroes. Like, we have to go for a tower, we have to make this, but I feel like they can poke a little bit. There's a little bit of aggression in the tank for Aster.Aries, and you know they're smoked up right now. They're kind of looking for it.
And Ulu, you can see he's still getting that farm on, trying to work towards that Radiance, but there is that movement down bottom. XXS found right at the start. They have Supernova ready to go. We'll get the Malefice House trying to get the Rolling Thunder, but can't quite get it. And there is the egg used, looking to get in position for this Glimpse, but the pig pull creating some separation, and now they've gone in too far. They have to back out. Static Storm down. And that's it's just going to be nothing. They have to run away. They have to get out of here. Good glimpse away to keep Monet back, but it won't matter as they will find the kill onto the Disruptor. And could have gone for the coil there, don't decide to do it. So they pull all of Aster to the bottom side of the map here, find a pretty decent fight. And we'll see what Aster want to do. It's hard to push a tier 2 though.
No, it is. They need to basically break away from this bottom side. That's why they already see themselves smoking. They understand that Alk will be farming the stacks. Already half HP. He's pretty squishy, right? 1200 HP.
Oh, they're going top, though. They think he's in the jungle.
Whoa.
That is unfortunate for them. A miss call on it. And this is actually, if you can finish this off, I mean, it's really hard for Ulu to clean this up. But they are going to see the DP. Finder there, has the mechanism and some pretty good stick charges. Not an easy kill. That miss on Alchemist is huge.
That's one of those 50-50s, right? It's, you either think he's farming your top camp before he then goes to Ancients, or he's actually doing it. And yeah, unfortunately for Aster, a slight misread on his positioning, and yeah, that would have been an Alk dead to rights.
But as it stands, more time for this Alchemist to come online, and this is going to be Radiance done at about 14 minutes or so. If he can finish it off here. Aries still have not made that sort of concerted effort towards mid lane yet. Likely going to be coming up in just a few as Shang-Chi still just pushing out lane's bottom, dealing with the aggro. They're going to try and push this. Glimpse? Exo? Okay, they find him, but the tombstone's down. Is it going to be enough for the kill? Yes, it will.
But
Killing
White Album,
spree, and look at the turn. Way too much damage for White Album to deal with.
yeah, and I think that's why they weren't rushing to hit this tower, because they know that if they aren't, they don't really have explosive damage on Aster.Aries, right? It's all about you throw some spells, you glimpse them back, you swash them a couple of times, and then maybe if they're in a bad position, they'll be egged and you kill them off, right? It's like neither team really is like the you're out of position, insta-dead type combo.
Right.
Maybe the tiny. So for Aster.Aries, like when you have that type of playstyle, you don't really want to hit this tier 1 tower unless it's just after laning phase when people aren't really strong. But at this point, Aster are very much able to defend their objectives.
Well, and you can think about, again, an Alchemist down in net worth. It feels pretty freaking bad. And I think so much of this, of course, is just Monet, who got off to that hot start on this Nature's Prophet, has continued to scale with the Hand of Midas done, and is just farming up everything on the map. He's so much faster coming online than this Alchemy. But Ulu's farm should pick up over the next couple minutes, most likely.
It should, but the way that Aster.Aries are having to play because of the start of this game, it will be Alk and then 4 kind of, not supports, but 4 heroes, right? It'll be 4 protect 1. Whilst on the flip side, Aster, you can already see all 3 cores are scaling. This Tiny's already about to complete Blink Dagger by minute 16. So when you do get to these big fights, if Aster can weather the storm of this Alchemist with Radiance, BKB, Blink, kite him out, maybe with some Black Hole, then they'll be able to just go, okay, now where's the rest of your lineup?
Right.
You've done all of this for an Alk, and he's still not the top net worth.
No, it's true. And they do have, of course, some answers later on as well for the BKB Black Hole that we know is going to be coming eventually from Enigma, with the Pango Basher that likely will be there and all the rest of it. But, there will be a window where they won't have that ready to go. TK caught, killed. Not bad at all. Ended up breaking the coil, and Ulu going to stun himself as they walk away. White Album wants to go in and, well, just trying to get back to a not dangerous space. Does have a Manta ready with that Illusion Rune. Bulbaka, toss back, Static Storm down, but White Album, he's gone. Doesn't stand a chance. Ulu tries to make something happen, but the roll through, and now the Radiance Burn trying to kill him off, but they have a mech of their own, and just gonna straight up Black Hole of Pango. It does end up pulling him into the stun. But no way to get away. That is going to be a dead Pango now. TK back alive, does have Supernova, so now Radiance Burn along with the Supernova burn, but a stun on himself on Alk again, and it ends up being like 4 for 1? Feels pretty bad.
It started with the Phoenix, then Tail ended with the Death Prophet, and that's a nice little chain feed there from Aster.Aries, unfortunately. And yeah, I think White Album, he just thinks he's a little bit tankier than he actually is.
Right. No, it's a tough one. DP, just you need that little bit more. Guardian Greaves would be huge. Of course, having sort of the immediately ready afterwards, mech, and having an Illusion Rune too was really key. But I think White Album could have popped it like a second earlier too.
And you're seeing the effect right now. This is Borgia, right? And on Dying and Tiny, they really dominate these early fights. Whereas on the flip side, Disruptor Phoenix can, but it's more once Aster have kind of entered their territory and you kind of mark your land with your big spells, but they can't really do that. They don't have that control, and there's only so much things you can do on this Pangolier.
Yeah, did get a nice little stun there though on the Black Hole.
And another toss back.
Making the consistent good play on this Tiny, just absolutely wrecking them. Very, very impressed, and now maybe can find another. White Album Blink coming back off cooldown soon. Did not find the silence onto Bulbaka, and guess what? There's the toss back that they needed. White Album going to drop again. Bulbaka is just on another level.
Yeah, they hit one timing in this game, and they are not letting it go. They have Eidolons, they have Treants, they have Tiny Blink. They are hitting this tier 3 at 80 minutes into the game. Sure, Alchemist might overtake Nature's Prophet for the first time in this game, but it's not before he's lost like nearly 40% of his map.
And you can see Ulu recognizing the danger. He's immediately going for that BKB, has it completed now. It's still not going to be easy for him by any stretch of the imagination, but that at least does help to some extent. It's all on Ulu, and I'm not sure if he's going to have the help that he needs. I'm not sure if he's going to have the items he needs.
No. So when you go BKB second item on Alchemist, you trade a lot of damage on your hero to be able to actually play out the game. And, you know, Enigma, he went for Blink straight after Mech. And he understands that Baboka's playing so aggressively. You know, there's this undying tombstone for Vision. Like, they have so many ways to make fights chaotic that he can go for this Blink. And this is a bold play, but Aster already smoked up.
Oh my god. Oh no. Oh, this is dangerous. Wait, but XXS and Monet aren't here.
They're just going for...
They're not here. They don't have two of their key components for it, and I don't know if they're going to have the damage. Now Boboka in trouble in way too far. They don't have a TP for Monet either. They're not here with their whole roster, and they're going to give up this fight. Oh, wait a minute. That was not how this was supposed to go. I mean, they're taking a tier 3 tower bottom at the same time, but this is going to be the Aegis going to Aster.Aries. Now they might even be able to come back and defend it afterwards. Thinking about finishing this off.
Maybe Puck steals it.
Can he make the move in time? The back from Roche! Oh, but Ulu gets it. The Aegis just in time with that BKB out and then the TP away. They're going to glimpse back in the Puck. He's able to dodge that one.
Oh, Puck's looking. He's looking.
I mean, a nice little kill there onto Red Panda, but really weird decision there by Monet. He TP'd in. They decided to take the tier 3 instead.
Especially when you take the tier 3 that has Fortify. When tier 3 falls, then it's another Fortify. I think for Aster here, I don't know if they really care about this first Aegis timing anyways, because they know Alk doesn't have damage. So maybe getting through this double Fortify, in the back of Aster's mind, it's like, okay, if we now group up and make one good play, we can just take whatever we want. Bot racks, mid tier 2. So it could have been just that type of play. And also it's like, if they want to get their heroes from bot to mid or to Roshan at least, maybe they didn't know if they had the time, but already with the smoke in hand, like I feel, yeah, this is very much, they don't have double Fortify, they have literally nothing. Get one pick, and we'll be able to take their racks.
White Album, no, not again. This poor guy.
It's been the story of the game, unfortunately.
He's just getting bullied.
And now if this bot wave was any closer, they'd already be at this high ground going, please, what are you going to do with this first Aegis that you got?
Only Red Panda has more deaths in this game than White Album. It has been a tough time indeed for that poor Death Prophet. And
I mean, it's in the name.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, usually a prophet is like meant to sort of know something's coming and then avoid it, right?
Her own death.
Not so much in this one. But you can see like a couple other things. They're trying to get like towards a little bit more strength and survivability. Red Panda already queuing up that Aghanim Scepter. TK has the pipe almost completed. And of course the blink on Pango. So there are these elements that they have which are going to give them a better chance to fight. The question is, are Aster going to give them that good fight? Or are they just going to keep picking people off with Boboka?
Yeah, I feel like both lineups, they thrive when they get to initiate, because Pangolier will then enable Disruptor to get his spells, Phoenix to place a good egg, White Album won't just get 100-0 at the start, right? So now that we're seeing Aster.Aries smoke up, maybe we finally get to see them have a little bit of lead, but they need to have good vision and good entry to the engagement.
Already a ward down up on high ground there. Boboka, Red Panda, this would be huge if they can find it. Static Storm before the Tombstone. Not bad. Stun from Ulu. Going to be thrown now onto Boboka. XXS is there. Starting to drop down low. TK controlled for the moment. He does manage to get that one away. And the Supernova down. TK barely surviving. So in the end, it's just going to be one down as... well, White Album needs to dodge, needs to hide away. The heal is coming in. Monet right there on top of him. Red Panda hoping for a save, but the BKB is out, and they're going to jump onto him. Ulu has to back away. They have lost White Album again, and now Pango in trouble. He too is going to drop. Aster, they just play these fights so well, and they couldn't take down that Undying before the Tombstone.
And remember this Aegis that they didn't really care about giving away? Guess what? There's no Fortifiers. Enigma's here, Nature's Prophet's here.
A rare miss there as the pipe comes out. XWY still playing very far forward, but the stun is out onto Monet. Didn't have a BKB available. Boboka dropping low. Red Panda tossed back in. Do they have enough to kill off Boboka? It doesn't look like it because the black hole is there. That's on the Aegis. He doesn't have ulti when he comes back to life. And Aster, they might take full advantage, but good blink away from Ulu. So Rax is going to drop down bottom. Finally, Aster able to take full advantage of this lead that they're building.
And yeah, I mean, Alk, look, oh, just for a brief second, had more net. Well, there it is, back again with a higher net worth. When you click on the Alk, it's not really an inspiring net worth, right? No. Blink, BKB, Radiance. You might be able to get on top of a hero, but that's not that. like gotcha itemization that's able to 100 to 0 heroes. Like even this Undying inside Static Storm under the threat of Alk, he's able to then get off his Flesh Golem, drum away.
TK toss back. They have mech to try and keep him alive. Ulu makes the move, and again, taking this fight without Monet here could be pretty good for them. White Album, but now Monet shows up, and now they're in a lot of trouble. But maybe Puck, they do manage to kill him. Okay. Ulu pops ulti. Now the turn, finds Zhangxi. Coiling Blade to get away. And they managed to sort of survive that first salvo at least. Monet's still very strong. Supernova down, pops the BKB, and Ulu, he's just caught here. They want to get the kill desperately. He's going to stun himself, and now the chase with the avalanche, the toss. Zhangxi is going to give up his life also as he swashbuckled in. Monet is way too strong, and this might just be the full set of racks going down bottom as Aster, way too strong for Aries.
Yeah, like Aries.
GG.
Oh,
they're done.
Okay.
I was wondering. It looked like it was that type of game.
Yeah, it kind of was. It's like the game where you're an Alk who's not really ever been in the lead, who hasn't really been able to protect himself. And yeah,